Barron Trump's unexpected act of kindness on a flight. It was a bright and bustling morning at the airport as passengers began to board a transatlantic flight to Paris. Among them was a special guest, Barron Trump, the son of the former U.S. president. He had chosen this particular flight to take a trip to Europe for a business engagement, though he preferred to keep a low profile. As he settled into his seat in the first-class cabin, Barron couldn't help but notice the flight attendants working tirelessly to ensure every passenger was comfortable. One of the attendants, Emma, a seasoned professional with years of experience, was doing her usual rounds, offering drinks, assisting passengers, and making sure everything was running smoothly. Barron, ever observant, saw that she seemed a little overwhelmed, as the flight had started to fill up with chatter and requests. Despite the luxury of first class, even seasoned attendants were not immune to the hustle of a busy flight. Suddenly, a voice rang out sharply from a few rows back. "Hey, what's the holdup? I've been waiting for ages. Why is this taking so long?" The voice came from a disgruntled man, clearly frustrated. He stood up from his seat, drawing attention from everyone nearby. Emma, as poised as always, quickly made her way over to address the situation, but the passenger's temper was boiling over. "You people are so slow. I demand to be served immediately," the man yelled, causing a few other passengers to glance nervously at each other. Barron, who had been quietly watching from his seat, could see Emma's face begin to flush with embarrassment. He had seen his fair share of public confrontations, but this one seemed unnecessary. Barron wasn't one to stay silent when it came to standing up for what was right. With calm but firm confidence, he stood up from his seat and approached the scene. "Excuse me, sir," Barron said, his voice carrying a level of authority. "I think there's been some misunderstanding. The staff here is doing their best. Yelling isn't going to solve anything." The man looked up, initially taken aback by Barron's presence. He hadn't recognized him as the president's son, but he clearly wasn't used to being spoken to like this by a young man. "Who are you, huh? Some rich kid who thinks he can tell me what to do?" The man sneered. Barron remained unfazed, his demeanor calm and collected. "Actually, I'm just a fellow passenger, just like you," Barron replied. "But maybe it's time we all start showing a little more patience and kindness. The flight is long, and everyone here is working hard to make it as comfortable as possible." The man hesitated, realizing the truth behind Barron's words. The tone of the argument had shifted. Passengers around them started to murmur in agreement. Emma, who had been watching the interaction, smiled gratefully at Barron. She had been trained to handle difficult passengers, but sometimes a bit of support from another person made all the difference. The man finally looked down, his posture softening. "Yeah, I guess I was a bit rude. Sorry," he muttered, though he didn't seem entirely convinced. He sat back down, the tension in the air beginning to dissipate. Barron gave Emma a small nod before returning to his seat, his heart lightened by the positive change. He had only meant to defuse the situation, but the way the atmosphere in the cabin had shifted was palpable. As the plane soared above the clouds, the incident quickly became a distant memory. The flight attendants continued to do their jobs, and passengers settled into the comfort of their seats. But for Emma, the moment of kindness from Barron would stay with her for a long time, a small gesture of support that made a world of difference. And for Barron, it was just another day of quietly making the world a little bit better, one interaction at a time.